Hello, and welcome to this video as giving a lesson on how to use vertex form in order to create an equation of a parabola. So the question that's given here is it's asking for an equation of a parabola which has a vertex of 2, 4. That means that vertex is going to be up there at 2, 4 and goes through the point 6, 2. Okay, so we are given the vertex of our parabola. Again, we can maybe know it's a maximum or minimum. We're not totally sure at this point. Maybe once we've actually gone through and solved, we'll be able to figure it out. And then we're given some other random point that happens to be on this parabola. Okay, happens to be a nice one. 6, 2 is a very nice one. But I'm going to go through with you step by step on how you can use vertex form in order to solve for this equation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use vertex form. The reason we use vertex form is because we're given the vertex and some other point. So vertex form looks like this. Y is equal to ax minus h squared plus k, where a is a value that we're going to have to try to find, and hk happens to be our vertex. So let's now enter h and k into there. So our x value is going to be h, our k value is going to be the y, and so we're going to enter the h as 2 and the y as 4 because that's our vertex. So what you'll notice with this one here now is that we have the h and the k value, x and y are going to stay the way they are, and we're missing a. Okay, we're unsure of what our a value is, and now we need to try to figure out what is our a value. So how are we going to do it? We're going to grab that second point, whatever it happens to be. In this case, it's 6, 2. Could be really anything. And that point is going to help us determine what our value of a is. Okay, to make for 6, 2 to be on the line or on the parabola with a vertex of 2, 4, the a value has to make that work. So to do that, enter the x and y values into the equation, into those place values for x and y, and it's going to look a little bit like this. Now, that might be a little bit confusing. Why do we enter x and y in there? Well, remember that x and y represent any point along our parabola. Okay, every single point along our parabola goes in for x and y, and the a value has to make that work. So if we put one of our points in, not the vertex, that's already in there, we're going to figure out what our a value is that makes that point work. All right, now at this point, we need to solve for a. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Let's simplify as much as we can and solve for a. The 6 minus 2 inside brackets, we can solve for that. That's 4. Okay, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Okay, and I'm also going to square the 4, so I'm going to be left with this. So subtracting 4 from both sides is going to give us negative 2 on the left, and 4 squared is going to give us 16. And then the last step to getting a by itself is we're going to divide both sides by 16, and we're going to get that a is equal to negative 2 over 16. Let's simplify that. Let's make it negative 1 over 8. That's much better. All right, this is the a value that's going to make this equation work so that 6, 2 can be on a parabola where 2, 4 is the vertex. Okay, so it's telling us when one of these points is, when that point is on this parabola, okay, and we're given a vertex, a specific vertex, this is the a value that will make that work. So at this point, we take that and we plug it back in for a right there. Okay, so there we go. Y is equal to negative 1 over 8 x minus 2 squared plus 4. This creates that equation that is going to give us that parabola where it goes through 2, 4 as a vertex, and it also goes through the point 6, 2. Now you'll notice it's still in vertex form, and so we could actually convert it into general form, and all we need to do then is simplify. So at this point right here, square the brackets. Well, x minus 2 squared is x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then, second step, multiply that coefficient, in this case the a value of negative 1 over 8, through the set of brackets. So we're going to be left with negative 1 over 8x squared plus 1 over 2x plus a half, and then the plus 4 gets put on at the end. Finally, let's add the constants together, which is going to give us our y-intercept, and we get an equation of y is equal to negative 1 over 8x squared plus 1 half x plus 3 and a half. Tells us that our a value is negative 1 over 8, our b value is 1 half, and our c value is 3 and a half. This is the process in which to simplify this into general form so that we can see what it looks like in exactly that form. Hopefully that helped you. Thank you for watching. All the best as you work through your questions.